Hello, guys. Thank you guys for joining me today. These are the ABC Technique journals. They're all done, and I'm going to go ahead and do the flip through all four of them. So, as you know, that each one of these and each one of the pages has its own video to show you the technique of how I created them. So, I will be listing these for sale. And if you would like to buy them individually, the information is down below. Just contact me through my email if you would like to purchase these. And we will go through PayPal and do it that way rather than going through Etsy or any of that kind of stuff. Okay. And probably in a week or so, I'll probably have these listed on my Etsy shop if they haven't sold before then. Okay. So, yeah, just let me know. And I'm going to go through each one of these. So, I do have a list here beside me. And I'll lay that beside me so that you can see each one of them as I go through them. Okay. So, we'll start with this big one in the back. So, I'm going to move all of these off to the side and so that we have plenty of room. Okay. So, okay, so let me show you this one. As you can see, we have the zipper closure. That is for the Z at the end, but I went ahead and put it on the outside so you guys kind of get to see it first. Okay, and I think this is gorgeous. And we just have a little lobster. I figured out the name of this. It's called a lobster clamp. In my video, I kept calling this all kinds of things, but it's a lobster clamp is what this is. So you just slide that off. There we go. And this one is removable. Now, somebody had a great suggestion of putting a sewing on a fabric pocket right here. I think that is a terrific idea. I even thought of doing that myself, but I didn't want to use a sewing machine. So I just left this in plain, but there is a lot of ideas you can do with these zippers. So let me just move that one to the side. Now, most of these are going to be slightly plain, okay, because I didn't do a lot of decorating because of the techniques. It's more about the technique journal than it is. I'm going to move this off to the side. Sorry. Just going to put it out of my way so that you guys can see everything. Okay. So we'll start. Hopefully you guys can see the paper next to me. Move that there. There we go. I think you guys can see that. Okay. Right. Maybe my aluminum foil is getting cut off, but there you go. All right. I may have to zoom in. All right. So here we go. So the opening page, like I said, the whole cover, everything is still very plain. You can decorate it to how you prefer it. Okay, so the first page is the alcohol inks and aluminum foil. Okay, and it just did a little flip. I did put a little piece of paper here to write on, but otherwise that's very just to your taste, just to show you the technique. And then you guys can finish decorating them. Okay, so I'm going to, hopefully, I wanted to sit here so I could zoom in. So let me see. I'm going to zoom in slightly. There we go. Sorry about that. Hopefully that's a little bit closer. Okay, so the second technique is backgrounds, and that's this page here. As you can see, this whole thing was background, and then I put a little collage on top. The next page here is coffee and clothespins. Can you guys see the paper? Maybe I should, here, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to set the paper here for a second so that you guys can look through it real fast. Or take a screenshot of it, however you would like. And then I'm going to set it off to the side, okay? Because I do have a playlist for each one of these. Okay, so I'm going to set that off to the side now. That way I have more room for the whole journal. There we go. Okay, so coffee and clothespins. So we made these clothespins. These paper, it's actually got paper on it. And this is the coffee stain papers that we made. I think those held up beautifully. Makes a lovely noise. I love that. Okay, the next page is going to be it's going to be our decorating ideas that all fell out. So not sure how those fell out, but okay. So we had 5 decorating ideas on this page, right? We had the banner. We had the fabric tags. We had, is there more than 5 here? There might be more than 5. We had the stamped tag that's very simple, but with the bead. We had the paper clip, the string paper clip right there, our yarn paper clip, I think is what that one was. And then we had this little dangle that's like a book page with little snippets. I think that is cute, and it just dangled down. Okay, put that back in there. Over here on this page, we had embossing powder, and I showed you how to make your own embossing powder with this one. And then I just added a little tag in here that I thought matched the actual embossing powder. Okay, and then we had, oops, kind of stuck together. Then over here we had our Franken paper. Okay, I love Franken paper. It's one of my favorite things to do. I love blending two things together, two of my scraps, sewing a piece of clear acetate or clear something, and or sometimes just a more decorative, fancy, like this gold would look beautiful right here. And then I just added this fabric tag. Well, actually, it's a paper tag, not fabric. I thought that was fabric. Just slides in and out there, and put that in the pocket here so you could see through it. I think that's cute. Over here is our letter G for gift box, which is sliding. If you remember, this slides up. And so you just slide the whole top off and you can use that as a pocket. Over here was our hidden spots. Okay, on this sense, it's this thing. It's magnetic and it hides that there's a hidden spot right here. Okay, so that was one of ours. Over here is our index cards. So I created the index card notebook using, as you can see, the index cards, using rubber bands and a dowel rod to hold it all together. I think that is really cute. And I just created a little pocket to keep it in. There, all tucked in. Over here is our jute dragonflies, guys. And this one is on a bulldog clip. Some of the other ones are on different things, but this one's on a bulldog clip, so it can go anywhere in your journal. You can clip it to the side, the top, the front, the back, whatever you want. There we go. Over here is our keys. Okay, this one over here is for our key. I just created this little pocket to keep our key in, and it has these dangles, and we decorated it really cute. I think that came out really nicely, don't you? And I just created this little side pocket. And what I like about this side pocket is it allows the dangles to hang over the edge. And I think that is beautiful hanging out right here. As you remember from the beginning, you could see that with the zipper and it was beautiful. Okay, so over here is our lace flowers that we created, made from lace and a little decorative piece in the middle, and I just glued those onto the edge just for pretty. Over here is our mica powder. This was bookmark. Well, it's not a bookmark. It's a belly band. I created this belly band using mica powder, and then this just slides in and out so you can see. So you're demonstrating the mica powder belly band. Okay. And over here we have our negatives. Okay, I didn't do a whole lot with this one. The other ones I did a little bit more, but this one I just created. I love being able to see through the pocket. You guys see through it and seeing all the different textures underneath that make up the butterflies. I think that is so pretty. I wish I hadn't gone quite over here to the edge because you can't really get the card all the way over there because that's where it's glued. And I just tucked a card, one of my journal cards, into there that I created. The journal card wasn't on one of the videos, but the negative space and how to use negative spaces. Okay, so there we go. Over here is our overlays. Okay, this was our fabric overlay, and if you remember, I didn't really care for this one at the time that I made it, but now I think it came out okay. I added some lace up here that just is pretty. I added a little tab right here that is magnetic tab. Okay, so there's magnets right there, and it just slides on this tissue paper and snaps on that tissue paper so I can lift the tissue paper easily without tearing it. So this really allows me to lift that, and it just overlays the whole page. That's what I created. Okay, just as a demonstration. Over here was our playing card, if you remember correctly. So yeah, it just created this. Now, I did run into some problems with my other shiny playing cards. We'll get to that in the other journals. But yeah, they did not do so well with the tape. So I had to go back and re-glue them. Okay, over here is our quilted tag. Okay, I still love these. Still got pieces of scrap of string on them, but I love these. I think these are beautiful to add in, and they add such a lovely texture feel. You know, whenever you're using paper all the time, it all feels flat. But adding something like this just gives your hands and eyes something else to feel and touch. Okay, so our next one was our recipe card. Now here I created a slit in my paper so that I could just tuck my recipe card in there because it was quite large. So it's just tucked into this slit, which you can barely see. So I kind of like that. Over here was our safety pin. It's on a piece of fabric, or sorry, a doily, lace doily, and I just stuck the safety pin. And you can barely see it, but it is in there. Okay, I just put that and glued it all down. So next one is our tuck spot. Okay, we created these like an origami tuck spot. I think that came out cute, and I just added some tags in there. Over here was our letter U. If you remember correctly, I didn't know what to do with the letter U, so I used dictionary pages, and I created this cute little flip out for a writing space. And see, I know, ugly. I know that's not very nice, but yeah, it's a dictionary page. And I redecorated it with washi tape, and I just created this little pocket thing to put it in. So I kind of like this. Slide it down. There we go. I think that came out pretty. Let's see what else we got. Okay, now over here was our vinegar and bubbles, and I think that came out really neat. This was of the fuzzy technique. This was fun to do. I loved doing this, and I just added some washi here to finish decorating it out. And I added another journal card to it, which I did not make the journal card again on uh, as part of the playlist. So it was just like this. And then I added this because I think that just brought it all together. Okay, over here was our washi tape. As you can see, we made our own fabric washi tape over here. And I just added a little bit of other washi, not our fabric washi, but just some other ones just to blend it all together, and created this little flip out. It's a lace flip out so you can see through it. Okay, and then here, originally this was our 12 by 12 paper, but and it created this wallet thing. Unfortunately, it did not fit in any of my journals, so I had to downsize. So what I did was I just halved all of the measurements, and that's pretty much what I did to create the same thing. I created the exact same thing. I just, except for, I did variations of it, but it's the exact same thing. And here is a pocket. Up here is, see, there's a little pocket right there. Over this flips out, and there's a little pocket right here. And here's one of the variations. I created another flip in the middle with a little pocket inside here. Okay, so once you get the basic layout of this, let me go back here so I can show you this pocket. See, there's a pocket right there. So once you get the basic layout, you can mix and match and however you want these to lay. Okay, so I'm gonna close it back up. Okay, and I'll come back later and tie it back together. Okay, over here is our yarn gnomes. Do you remember making these? Oops, mine just untied. Did you guys see that? I am so sorry. Anyways, these, I forgot to tie this up apparently. I put an eyelet. Here, I'll just take it out so you can show you. I put a little eyelet right there. And then I just, as you saw, I just put the string up through the eyelet, and I'm going to tie that together. You'll see all the other ones got tied. This one did not. But yeah, it just sits right there like that. Now this journal ended up having, no, this one didn't. I'm sorry, that was another journal. This one has the blank page in the back because of the letter Z is on the outside, okay? So, okay, that's why that one's blank. You can use it for however you want. I'm going to put that one off to the side and grab the next one. Now, here's another zipper. As you can see, I'll turn it around so you can see the whole thing. This is lovely. See how this dangles? You can already see some of the dangle from the things that we made. Again, lobster clamp made onto the zipper. Just get my rough fingernail in there. There we go. I'm going to set this one off to the side as well. I'll come back later and add them back on. Okay, put it up here so we can see. Open it up. Here's the alcohol ink and aluminum foil. That's what we made with that. I still like that. It has a I'm a very touchy-feely kind of person. I don't like everything being flat, you know, and this gives you so many ridges and things for your fingers to touch. Make sure we're in frame here. Here we go. This is our background papers that we made, and I made the background tags. I think those came out beautifully with a little bit of lace up there. Over here was I'm not going to pull everything out again, okay? So some of it I'll just point to. But I love these, okay? These idea of the clothespins and the coffee stain paper. I think that might be upside down. Here we go. And the coffee stain paper that we created that looks very vintagey and authentic. And then we have our decorating ideas. Again, some of mine are not staying together, so there we go. And we had the 5 in there, which ended up being more than 5. So over here was our embossing powder. And let's see. Over here was our Franken paper, but this time I made it onto a Franken tag. Okay. And I just made a little pocket for it to sit in right here. There we go. Over here is our gift box. Okay. And then over here was our hidden space. Our hidden spots, which if you up here was pockets. Okay, up here at the top, we created this so that it has pockets at the top. But you move the safety pin, flip it up, and then you have writing spots here, and also over here on this one. And you have a pocket right here that's kind of hidden. Okay, put that down, back down. And then it closes back up, and it's kind of hidden because you don't really notice to move the safety pin. Over here was our index card notebooks. I still like this idea. That's cute. Great way to use up index cards. Over here was our jute. I decorated the page a little bit to give him some company with some butterflies. This one is on Velcro. If you remember, the last one was a bulldog clip. This one's on Velcro. So I put a little piece of Velcro so that he can attach to the page. Over here was our keys. And this one I did with the eyelet like I did on the back. So I just tied the key to the eyelet. So I think that came out cute. Same way I did our gnomes. That's what I was trying to say. Over here is our lace flower. Over here was our mica powder. I used the butterflies. I think they came out really neat, and I've just used them as like a little tuck spot. Over here was our negative space, and if you notice, I also have negative space card over here to use. Over here was our negative space, and I just threw this little journaling card in here. Just to tuck it in. Over here was our playing card. This time, no, wait, overlay. I'm sorry. This is our overlay. I just created a pocket here, and so there's actually 2 pockets here. Created one there and one here for, I'm not sure why I did 2 pockets, but I did, for our little birdie. And the overlay is a shaker card, so the stars get shaken about. So they're kind of cute in there with our little bird fellow. I'm just going to use the front pocket this time, but usually it sits down in the slit pocket right here that I made. There we go. I like it better in there. And then I did make it a front pocket. Okay, over here was our playing cards. This one is one of the ones that keeps coming off, the top and the bottom. I had to re-glue this, so it does slide in and out though, really nicely. Created a pocket for it to sit inside and a little collage cluster. Over here, I created the quilted tag, and I needed a place to put my quilted tag because it is large. I did make this in quite large. So I just created this little leaf belly band right here. And our tag, because these are kind of soft, so they're not as structurally sound as another tag. So I had to put it in there so that it would stay. So this created this nice, lovely way for this to stay in here. Okay, over here was our recipe card, and I just, whenever we made these, the I just put it on this and sewed around it. And I created a see-through pocket because I didn't want to hide it, you know. I wanted to be able to see that. So there we go. And it's just a window framed. Over here was our safety pin. Oh, you can see this one easier than you could the last one. So our safety pin, and I put a strip of lace right there for our safety pin to stick inside of. Okay. And we just decorated our safety pin. Over here was the tuck spot we made. Over here was the letter U again with the pull this out so you see it, with our dictionary pages. So in our writing spot. And as you can see, this one has better words for, instead of the word ugly. I like this one better. But there we go. Just sits in there nicely. Over here was our vinegar and our fizzy. And I just turned it into a pocket and decorated the pocket a little bit. Over here was our washi tape. Can you guys see our washi tape that we created? And again, I need to sew that. I need to glue that page down. So I need to do that before I put that back together. Sorry. And it's just, this is actually a waterfall card. See, it goes like that. So I made the waterfall card into a flip out. And then over here was our little box, our little wallet that we made. And I'll show you guys the variations. Okay, this one has two pockets up at the top. Can you see the pockets? And then down below, it has a belly band here and the pocket in the back. Okay, so, and then this one flips out and it has two flip ups. It has one there and one here, and then another belly band. So like I said, you can use your leftover pieces however you want once you have the basic structure down, and it gives you all kinds of variations for how to put this together. Okay, so I'll put that back together later. And our little gnome. Can you see our yarn gnome? This time I put him through the eyelet, but I just made a knot instead on the back side to hold him onto the page. Okay, and the letter Z empty. Okay, so I will set this one off to the side and grab the next one. Okay, so this one you can, well, it's shown the back, the front. Here we go. Okay, so here is our zipper. This time I opened the zipper all the way because I love the look of it on this one because this one's kind of fun. The colors that I used and everything made this one seem fun. So it kind of, I thought the zipper open kind of made it seem fun too. Okay, so over here is our, you can see everything on the inside. So I'm going to open the lobster clamp. There we go. I'm going to set this one off to the side. You guys see the whole thing. All right, and here we go. Okay, so this one was our alcohol ink and aluminum foil, which is very delicate. There we go. And I put it on a pocket. So I just tucked a little piece of, well, I tucked something in there. What did I tuck? Here we go. Just a piece of paper. Just tuck that into the pocket. Let me see. Lay this one down. Here we go. Okay, so over here was our backgrounds. And this time I embossed the background with like clear embossing powder. I think that came out really nice. This one was our coffee stain and our paper clip, our 5 decorative items, our mica powder. No, I'm sorry. This is not mica. This is embossing powder, making our own homemade embossing powder. And I just tucked a little piece of card in there, the flower. Thought that kind of made it cute. Here's our Franken paper. I didn't do anything on this page because I just wanted to really be able to see the Franken paper on there. Here is our little gift box. See, it opens like that. You have to be careful. It does kind of bend. Here is our hidden spot. This time it flips out for our writing spot underneath. It rotates out. This one is our index card notebook. There was supposed to be something on that, but I don't know what. Let's see. Oh, it came apart. Here we go. Not sure why that came apart. This was supposed to be holding all of this together. So I apologize, and I will put it all back together soon. There we go. Okay, it holds our notebook, and it holds our little jute guy. There we go. So he's attached. Here, I created a little secret pocket for our key to sit inside of. See, I cut it out, and our key just sits right inside there. Let me grab my, need a tool. There we go. just sits inside that little pocket for our key. Over here's our lace flower. Here is our mica powder. Okay, I love the gold flecks in that. That's so cute. Over here was our negative space. I just filled this negative space in with some tissue paper, and I just added a journal card. Here is our overlay. Added a bit of lace to our overlay. So this is a clear acetate overlay. Just flips up. Okay. Here is our playing card, our fabric tag, and again, I just created a tuck spot for our fabric tag to sit into. Here is our recipe card. This time I turned the recipe card into the pocket and created a tag that sits inside the pocket. There we go. Over here is our safety pin, and I put a fat piece of fabric strip for our safety pin to attach to, and then decorated the safety pin with our little sunflower. Here we go. Open that back up. Over here was our tuck spot, our origami one. I put a couple pieces in there I thought matched. Over here was our letter U dictionary paper, and we created, this time I used a snap instead of the Velcro, little writing spot. It just sits inside that pocket. Over here was our vinegar. This is our vinegar and bubble mixture that we created, and vinegar and baking soda that made bubbles and fizz. I really like that. I just stuck a little cluster tag that I created in here. I thought all the colors kind of made it pop. So fun. Over here was our washi tape, our homemade washi tape. And in here was our envelope. I just added a little tag inside of our envelope. So it made it a flip out envelope. Here was our little box again. Let me show you our little box. Might as well do them all, right? Because I didn't get to show you these tiny ones. I got a little tag I created out of some of the leftovers. And up here is, because you can see there's a little spot. Over here was a spot. Down here, you flip it open and open it. And here is the belly band. Can you guys see them? I might be off screen. I'm sorry. Here's the belly band. Here's the pocket in the back. This time I did two short flaps is what I'm trying to say, and then two long flaps like that. So two shorts and two longs. They can overlap however you want. Okay, and I'm just going to stick this back in here so that I can find it later. We'll just stick it right here. There we go. All right, sorry about that. Over here is our yarn gnome, and I tied him to the eyelet. You can see the eyelet right there. I tied him to it so he can flip around and however he wants. I think he's just so fun to have hanging around. And our letter Z at the end is on the outside, so the last page is blank. Okay, so the last one, guys. Thanks for hanging in there. This is the best one, I think. Okay, so I took, somebody may left a comment that you could use the zipper as another dangle spot right here, and that's exactly what I did, see? So I put this dangle. I think that really, this is why I waited for last so I could show you guys that her idea was terrific on adding that zipper pull as another dangle spot. Okay, and so I'll flip this around so you can see the whole thing. The zipper's a little up here. You can see these here match the zipper one here, so it kind of all blings together. Okay, here we go. I'm going to open it. My lobster clamp. Try to get my fingernail in there. My fingernails have all broken this last week, so here we go. Okay, and I will remove this over here to this side. It kind of got hung up on one of the things. There we go. So you can see the pool is on there. So it goes like that. I think that's cute. Okay, so open this baby back up. Here we go. All right, so here's the cover without that. Here is the alcohol inks. I love this. It created this alcohol in aluminum foil created this nice texture. Here is the backgrounds, like that, the coffee stained and the paper clothespin. Here is the 5 decorating ideas. As you can see, they're all the same, is what we did. Over here is our embossing powder that we made, homemade. And I just stuck a tag in there to match it. And here is our Franken paper. Okay, so this is Franken paper. This is on gessoed paper. And I created a Franken envelope as well. So this one has 2, an envelope and the Franken belly band. Okay, and here's our gift box. I think that's cute. Here is our hidden spot. So I'll show you that. It's on a, has a magnet. And it opens up to this long writing spot. Okay, here is our notebook, index card notebook. Here is our little guy. He is on a magnet. Okay, so he is on a magnet that holds him on there. Here is our little key. Okay, that is flipping around. That's where the other gems come from. And I created this little cute little pocket for him to sit into. Okay, so he just sits in this cute little pocket right there. And I just put the dangles at the top so that they're not on the page, making the page bulkier. Our lace flower. Oh, our little Jeep guy is trying to fall out. All right, and then our mica powder. I really like that with the dragon. It's like a 3D dragon. I know you guys can't really see it, but he kind of stands off the page a little bit. Over here is our negative space. This one was one of my faves with the flowers in there. And see, like that. And I just created a little tag out of dictionary page. Just something cute and simple. Over here was our overlay. This time we used a piece of this netting like material, and I added some fibers at the top. So yeah, it has an image underneath. Our playing card, our quilted tag. It's a cute little one. And the recipe card, what I did with it, as you can see, that's what I created for the next page was the recipe card. And I just glued part of it onto this side. So I have a pocket for my quilted tag. So this page becomes a tuck spot. Okay, here is our safety pin. I need to put our safety pin in. I just put a piece of fabric up here at the top and put our safety pin on it. And after we've decorated it, but I need to readjust that. I didn't do a very good job sticking that in there. Over here is our tuck spot. And here is our letter U dictionary pages. Over here is our vinegar, or down here was our vinegar and baking soda bubbles. And I just added this little decorative piece here with a tag. So a cluster, that's what it is. I added a little cluster and added a tag, and I think it all blended really well together. Over here was our washi tape flip out. This time I flipped out a whole tag. So there's our washi tape that we made. And over here was the last pocket, not our pocket, but this 12 by 12. I guess you could say this was a 6 by 6 actually, not 12 by 12. So I created the little flaps to make this and look more like a briefcase. So they opened. I have the tuck spot up there. I have the flip outs. I just did bare minimum on this one. And I did a belly band here and a pocket in the back. Okay. I used all the extra scraps for these strips up here. So that's why I didn't have the extra pockets. Okay, so this time I used our yarn gnome. I had to create a new one. I didn't do this one on camera because I didn't think any of them matched this, and I like this one. And I just created a brad. Well, I didn't create the brad. I used a brad and just tied this around the brad. Okay, so you can actually slip this off at any time. Now this one, I don't know why, but this one ended up with not 1, but 3 extra pages. 1, 2, 3. 3 extra pages in this one, and I don't know why, but you can have fun with it. Decorate it however you wish. Okay, so that is all of our journals and that we have made. And like I said, they will be for sale. And either contact me and I'll put the I'll put sold on the in the description box below if all of them are taken. Okay, that way you don't waste your time trying to go on my Etsy or my Ko-fi page trying to find these. Okay, so if they're still available, they won't be marked sold. That's what I'm trying to say. So I hope you guys enjoyed this flip through and you got some lovely ideas for your ABC Techniques journals. And I hope you guys have a blessed day.